starting construction today. Let's go.
Hey, it's me again. So in the last episode, we learned what the layout was going to look like in our brand new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van we are currently upfitting at the moment. In this episode, we're officially beginning our journey to a badass, off-grid, livable machine. To make things even better, we're having a guest appearance by my dad, Kenny. I know, we look nothing alike. We hear it all the time, but trust me, he really is my dad. Now, he's going to be stopping in from time to time to help, especially with projects involving wood, seeing as he builds furniture in his spare time. He also graciously provided his workshop and parking space for the van to sit while we work on it over the next few weeks. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this week's episode where we're going to be talking about installing the subfloor and a few other goodies inside of the van. After stripping the vehicle's OEM floor and all of the panels covering the walls, I went to work installing our Shucks & Van's headliner roof rack. This was a pretty simple process, which is why I'm lumping it into this video, and it really just involved removing the coat hangers, backing out a few screws, placing the hardware where it goes, and then tightening everything down. There is a video tutorial by Shucks & Van that I used as a reference during the installation, so I'll go ahead and I'll link that down below, as well as a link to the headliner that we purchased, so that if you're interested in installing it in your van, you can go ahead and do so. After the headliner was installed, it was full steam ahead on planning out the subfloor. We used a few different sizes of furring strips to lay out the base support of the floor. Since the subfloor itself was going to be made up of 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood, which comes in sheets of 5 feet by 5 feet, we placed wider pieces of furring strips in the areas we knew the joints were going to be to ensure that we had extra support in that potentially weak area. We then used Loctite to glue the furring strips down to the metal body of the van, and then we made sure everything was square by using a straight edge and a framing square. We then laid down sheets of kill mat in the gaps between the furring strips to create an added amount of sound deadening to the build. While placing the mat, we were careful to route any and all air pockets to ensure moisture would not build up, creating a hazard down the road. And the last bit was to place strips of Thinsulate to add a layer of insulation to our floor. Once the furring strips, kill mat, and insulation was laid, we then cut our 5x5 sheets of 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood to create our subfloor. We used the OEM floor to help scribe out some of the trouble spots around the wheel wells, and then we made sure to check our fit before fastening the cut pieces to the furring strips. Once we liked the way that the floor laid, we went ahead and placed glue along the edges and then screwed the top into the furring strips. Overall, this process went pretty smoothly. The kill mat is definitely a tedious task, and waiting for the furring strips to fully cure also took some time, but once we were done, we were happy to walk across our sturdy and level subfloor. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider hitting the like button down below, and if you're newer to my channel and like the content I'm producing, then please consider hitting the subscribe button. Lastly, make sure to hit the bell icon to be notified of when I post the next episode of the van build, where I'll walk you guys through the electrical system that we're installing. But that's all for today, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.